Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Happy New Year! It's New Year's Day. Um, it's that time of year again, isn't it? I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I like to do the vinyl tag in the new year. Um, Again, this year's tag is caught in a bit of controversy. But hey ho, everybody's entitled to an opinion. Um, I'm not going to knock David for choosing to do the vinyl tag and knocking up the questions and all that. And if people want to do it early, it's up to them. Like I say, I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I really look forward to the vinyl tag. And I prefer to do it in the new year, but that's by the by. Anyway, vinyl tag, 20 questions. Should we get into it? Yeah, well, before we do, I do apologise for the light. It's playing havoc at the minute. Anyway, 20 questions or prompts. They're bloody questions, aren't they? Best musical purchase of 2025. Well, this was the first purchase of the day at one of the visits to Leeds Record Fair. Who Live at Leeds. I've always wanted a copy with all the bits and bobs inside, the poster, all the bits of paper, etc, etc. I'm not going to get them out, but trust me, they are all in there. And I don't care if the writing's black, blue or red. I really don't give a bleeding monkeys. It's all about the music, stupid. To quote somebody else in the VC. Yeah, always wanted a copy, found one. It was the very first purchase of the day, and I think I paid 30 for it. Considering I've seen other copies not in good condition as this, and going for 50-55 pounds. Please just punch. Really stoked to have found a copy. Excellent, love it. The Who Live at Leeds with all the gubbins inside. And the other one, I was really stoked to find it. It won't mean anything to the vast majority of you. Soul Passing Through Soul by Toyah. This picture disc. When this was first released, well, early releases, came with a cardboard display stand. You folded up, etc. And I'd always wanted one. I'd only ever seen pictures of one, and I found one in the second-hand record dealers in amongst this picture disc bin, as it were, box bin. Yeah, complete with the instructions. Well, the instructions is just a basic black and white picture, really showing you what it should look like. I will put a picture up of said display stand, what it looks like when it's all folded up properly together. Really stoked to have found that. Like I say, it won't mean nothing to anybody else except for Toyah fans. So yeah, please just punch to have found that. And I think that cost me a tenner, and 10 quid well worth spent, because they're rare, not easy to find, and usually a lot more than 10 quid. So yeah, display stand with the instruction sheet and the picture disc, which I already had. Soul Passing Through Soul by Toyah. Okay. Number 2, favourite live musical experience of 2025. It was my birthday in June, and part of the birthday gifts, presents, whatever, my daughter got a couple of tickets to see Gary Newman later on in the year at the O2 in Birmingham, and it was a celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Telecon album. So yeah, me and my daughter, Gary Newman, Birmingham O2, fantastic music. One of his daughters was a support act. She was great. Some of the singing got kind of lost with the music. It sort of drowned her out a little bit in places. Some of it was quite samey, but very brave of her, supporting her old man, who's a music megastar. So chapeau to her. The music, Gary Newman, brilliant. I got to see one of my heroes, albeit perhaps a bit too late, but the fun and laughter ended after the gig, in with the car parking and trying to get out of the city of Birmingham and that. But that's for another video. But brilliant, Gary Newman, excellent. I only saw 2 gigs last year, and the other one was over in the pub in Northampton, the Black Prince with Ian from Rankin the Obscure. We went to see the Soap Girls again, and before anybody asked, yes, one of them did. So yeah, record collection over the next 10 years, is it going to be bigger, smaller, or roughly the same? It's bound to increase in size, isn't it? There's various bits and bobs I need to complete, discographies, etc. So yeah, it's going to get bigger, and if I do run out of room, I can box things up, and I've got a lock-up, so I can put records boxed up in the lock-up. So yeah, it's bound to get bigger. Bound to cost me more money and all, isn't it? Yeah. Right. Number 4, moving into a new home. What record do you play up to number 11 on the old volume to announce your new residency, your arrival? Well, do I go for UK 82 by The Exploited, No Security, Chaos UK, War on the Terraces, Cockney Rejects, Bamp on the Pubs, Peter and the Test Tube Babies, Sham 69 If the Kids Are United? Or do I try and lull the neighbours, the locals, into a false sense of security with a bit of Alison Moyet, perhaps? A bit of Tina Turner? Or do I give them fucking what for? And 11's for pussies and old women. Bang that sound right up, and we will go Motorhead, Ace of Spades. Yeah. Come on, Lemmy, give it some fucking beans. Let them know we're here, boy. Yeah, so that's that one answered. Show one album each from your favourite male and female artists. Well, it'd be so easy, wouldn't it, to show Gary Newman or Ian Dury. I love that picture. Fantastic. Or we've already seen her briefly, Toya. I picked a couple of artists I've listened to quite a bit this year. One of them I discovered quite recently, but this is the lady artist I picked, and Mike Vinyl Spiral loves her as well. Rhoda Dakar, and this is the newly released, or it was released later on in the year, the dub version of her album Version Girl. Okay, and Rhoda Dakar was the lead vocalist, lead singer of the all-girl two-tone band, the Body Snatchers. Still singing, still gigging, DJing. Fantastic, lovely lady. So I've been listening to her quite a bit. I've got the Version Girl album, the original album. I've got a Rhoda Dakar sings the Body Snatchers. I've got that album. I've got various singles by her as well. So yeah, I've been listening to her quite a bit this year. And the chap, or the bloke, is a chap called Alpheus. Now, I only discovered him via Facebook, quite by chance. I think Facebook, the powers that be, kind of looking on what you're watching and listening to on Facebook and other various platforms, etc., and sort of put forward recommendations. This was one of them. I went and checked out a couple of recommended songs. I thought, well, this bloke's bloody fantastic. And I ordered this album. It was his latest album, Unify. And I thought, oh, what the hell, I'll order another album as well. So I did. And then I ordered another one. And then another one, and then another. And I've got 5 altogether. But if you love ska, rocksteady reggae, skinhead reggae, and some of his, the odd song or two has got a little bit of soul sort of mixed in there, then you'll love this chap Alpheus. So yeah, highly recommended. I'll put a link to one of his tunes. So yeah, I've been listening to quite a bit of this chap Alpheus. Okay. Right, your top 3 soul or dance records. Well, if we're talking soul and dance, we're specifically talking about Northern Soul, I think. I don't have a massive Northern Soul collection. I have a good selection of 7-inch singles. The odd original, a lot of reissues. Reissues are the way to go in Northern Soul. Originals can cost you a hell of a lot of money, a hell of a lot. I've tried to get older stuff I remember from back in 84, 85, when I used to go to the old scooter rallies and scootering, not exactly discos, but music events, where you get a good mix. You get mods there, scooter boys and girls, skinheads, punks, psychobillies, a whole sort of melting pot of youth culture and that, and you get your Northern Soul stuff being played and Motown and all that sort of stuff. I couldn't dance to Northern Soul, but I loved the music. But I'd like to do perhaps another video sometime on Northern Soul. So I've picked out sort of 3 records, soul records, that mean a hell of a lot to me. This is the actual very first soul record I ever owned and purchased. It's the actual one. Arthur Connolly, Sweet Soul Music on the Atlantic label. I remember this used to be played at a youth club. Used to go to many moons ago. Loved it so much I ended up buying it. I think it was in 85, perhaps late 84, 85. This is the actual record. So yeah, means a lot to me. Brings back some great happy memories. Arthur Connolly, Sweet Soul Music. Now that was the very first 7-inch single, soul-based 7-inch single I ever purchased and owned. This was the very first album. Wilson Pickett, greatest hits one, and I absolutely adore the song Land of a Thousand Dances. What a great dance soul tune that is. Absolutely fantastic. Love Wilson Pickett. The Wicked Pickett. He was a bit of a naughty boy, wasn't he? Roger Daltrey did a music documentary on BBC Radio 2 years ago There's some other soul albums in the series you can collect. Yeah, he did a musical documentary on BBC Radio 2 years ago about Wilson Pickett. I wish I could find it on the internet. I'd love to listen to it again. So yeah, we've had the first 7-inch soul single I ever purchased, owned. This was the very first album, the actual album. Land of a Thousand Dances, love it. This was my late mother's Motown Chartbusters Volume 6. And I remember this being in the house next to the record player when I was a nipper. And yeah, I've got all of these. There's 12 in this series to collect. I've got them all. This was my late mother's. And the sleeve was designed, done, painted, whatever you want to call it, by Roger Dean, very famous artist who did a lot of work with Yes, I do believe, and their album sleeves. So yeah, you've got people on here like Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Stevie Wonder, the Jackson 5, the Belvelettes. These Things Will Keep Me Loving You. What a wonderful song. Ardeen Taylor, Indiana Wants Me. The Supremes and the Four Tops, the Temptations, the Elgins. Fantastic. Yeah. Motown Chartbusters Volume 6, and that is from 1971. And of course, it's on the Motown label. So yeah, they're my soul picks. A track you hate from an album you love. Well, I don't really hate them, but I don't particularly like them, care for them that much. They're from 2 albums here, from 2 favourite bands of mine, released on the same day. Might give you a bit of a clue. It's the very final song on the album, and it's one of these American sort of army chants the soldiers would sing or voice as they're marching along. I don't know, drill practice or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, you tell me. Chipmunks Are Go. Just don't see the point of it. Why would they didn't put a proper song on here? Christ knows. I love the album, love Madness. Yeah, Chipmunks Are Go. It's a fantastic album, this is. I got that back in the, as a patch. I got that back in the 80s. Christ knows how it survived. So yeah, Chipmunks Are Go. Love that picture. And the other one, it's the original version of the song, but we're probably more familiar with the live version that appeared on an EP. That's Too Much Too Young, the original LP studio version. Just don't like, I prefer the live one. It's more fast, more pacey, more bouncy, danceable than this LP version. I don't really hate them, but I don't care for them that much either, you know. So yeah, that might surprise people. Both of them released in 1979 on the same day. Right, this is the album from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 20s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and I've got one from the 2020s as well. 60s, Rolling Stones, number 2, from 1964 on Decca. It's not in fantastic condition. It plays okay, but I think I only found it for a couple of quid at a car boot sale, if I remember right. So yeah, the 1960s, the Rolling Stones. I do enjoy a bit of Rolling Stones. 70s, we've got to have a bit of Slade, haven't we, eh? Slade Alive, one of the greatest live albums of all time. Remember, Slader for life and not just for bloody Christmas. Love Slade, love life, love Slade. 80s was a decade of dance, and I think one of the greatest sort of dance, sort of synth type albums to come out of that 80s. The Human League. My favourite track from this is The Sound of the Crowd, 1981. Of course, it's got that mega hit of theirs, Don't You Want Me, Baby. I love The Sound of the Crowd. I think it's a fantastic song. 90s, one of my favourite albums of all time. This would definitely be in my top 10 somewhere. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Love Alanis Morissette. And last year I found the MTV Unplugged CD of hers. So I was thumbing through other CDs, looking for stuff to keep in the car to play. Absolutely adore this album. Alanis Morissette, fantastic. You Ought to Know, fantastic song. So yeah, Jagged Little Pill. And I could have picked many other albums throughout these decades. Let me just stand these up a bit. 2010s. Well, actually, this is from 2018, and you got Mike Vine's Spiral to thank for this. Absolutely love the Lovely Eggs, husband and wife duo. Absolutely love the artwork on a lot of their album sleeves. And this contains the song we had a bit of a laugh and a joke about on one of the live streams, called Wiggy Giggy. Fantastic band, the Lovely Eggs. Go and listen to them. You might want to pick up one or two of their albums themselves. 2020s. Of Gods and Men. Yeah. This is by Mike Grogan's, one of his bands. Who's Mike Grogan? PC-31, The Vinyl Policeman. I like this so much, I ended up buying two, and I gave one away to Ian, Ranking the Obscure. I did ask Mike if he can get his, if him and his band would autograph a copy, which he duly did. And sent me a nice letter with it. So yeah, 2020, and this is a fantastic album. If you haven't brought a copy of this yet, or downloaded it via Bandcamp, I think it is, or something like that, well, get in touch with Mike Grogan, PC-31, The Vinyl Policeman, and he'll point you in the right direction. If you haven't brought a copy of this already, then I suggest you jolly well do, because it is rather good. Okay. Who would you like to spend the day with, artist-wise? And there's a question after this that sort of joins on to it. Ian Jury, there with his son Baxter. Love to spend the day with him, talking about how he's managed to cope with his polio disability, singing, songwriting, seeing all the old places, London, things that invoke memories from him. Like to enjoy a drink, a libation with him, And the next question or prompt is, what question would you like to ask him? Now, this question has been sort of answered already on one of the live streams. But I want to hear the answer direct from the horse's mouth, not from a passage of a book. There was a band here in Britain. I think they only had they were a one-hit sort of wonder in the charts one Christmas. They did I think the song was called the Hokey Cokey. And the group was called the Snowmen. And it was basically people dressed up in snowmen costumes on a stage singing and playing and whatever. And one of them was always said to have been Ian Dury. I think specifically the one doing the singing. Everyone suspected it was him, but Mike Vinyl Spiral, I think he kind of looked into it a bit because the record was released on the Stiff label. Mike collects records on the Stiff label. I do as well, but I'm not as knowledgeable on the subject as what Mike is, and he's got a book all about Stiff records. And I think he read out a sentence or a passage written by a woman. I can't remember the name. Who seemed to think it wasn't Ian Dury, it was somebody else. But I would want this one put into bed, and I'd ask Ian himself, was it you in that snowman costume singing away? Tell the truth. That would put an end to it all. Okay? So that's that question answered. Moving on. Show a record, etc. that always brings a tear to the eye. Or are you a heartless bastard? Well, I'm not a heartless bastard. I'm only human. Now this is one that I wasn't going to do or answer. Those who know will know. I'm classed as, although we weren't married, we lived together for 28 years as man and wife, had children, laughed, cried, joked. I don't want any sympathy or anything like that, or pity off anybody. Just over 4 years ago now, my beloved Jackie lost her fight against cancer. And she had a it wasn't a traditional sort of funeral, hymns and all that. She had what's called a humanist funeral, which is a celebration of life. And you can pick songs, and the first one we all went into the crematorium to was a song called Misery by Madness, which she loved, and I loved as well. Sort of halfway through the proceedings, there was a period of reflection and prayer, if you wanted to. If you're a religious type and you wanted to sit there, sort of reciting a prayer to yourself. And they played the song "It Must Be Love" by Madness, which she also loved. And at the end was her favourite song of all time, "You to Me Are Everything" by a band called The Real Thing. And yeah, but, well, as you can expect, I was sobbing away, but this song also did make me smile a bit, because whenever we were out and about in the car, and it came on the radio. She went, oh, 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 it's my favourite, and she banged the sound right up. And I'd turn it down, and she'd slapped my bloody hand and given me a telling off. So yeah, I have trouble listening to them now, and I consider myself you know, I'm a rum old chap, not many airs and graces, and rougher than a badger's ass. But whenever I hear those songs on the radio, I'm reminded, and a tear comes to my eyes, and I miss her so much, so much. But there you go. So yeah, that's my beloved Jackie. 3 albums by artists you tried to love or like, but you're questioning why you even bothered. 2 artists spring to mind, and I'll put pictures up somewhere. I'll be up there, or down, whatever. Captain Beefheart, Trout Mask Replica. God's sakes. I think America kind of digs Beefheart and understands Beefheart more than perhaps the British public does. And also, there's one thing that bugs me about that album, particularly the front cover. The picture should be up here if I've managed to do it right. What's wrong with that album sleeve, that picture on the front of the album sleeve? There's something particularly wrong about it. That is not a fucking trout. That is a carp. C-A-R-P. Carp. Okay, and that bugs me. For some reason, that really bugs me. Oh, it gets me mad. The other artists, oh my, I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. I don't own any records by this chap and his bands. But I would buy one if it was dirt cheap. Not for the record, not for the music. And that's Zappa, Frank Zappa. I've tried Hot Rats. I've tried Weasels Ripped My Flesh, is it? I've tried that one. I've tried Freak Out? I tried that, and We're Only In It For The Money. I've tried that one. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't like it. The only thing I like about that We're Only In It For The Money is the inside album sleeve. And I chuckle and howl laughter when I see that. They're all there in dressed up as women. And the ones on the right of the sleeve, you've got that weird bloke in the back there with the frizzy hair and the beard growth. And when you've got Zappa, who's looking as if he's looking rather troubled, and the bloke behind him with the beehive, Magilla Gorilla. And when you've got that distinguished sort of looking gentleman at the front there with the beard, sort of looking and thinking, well, I don't really know what I'm doing here. Love the inside sleeve. I like the outside sleeve, the very front picture as well. Makes me laugh, chuckle. Don't dig the music. Don't understand the music. Beefheart, don't get me started on that. A load of old rambling nonsense. But America, I think, understood them and took them to the hearts. I don't know. No, thank you. No, thank you. Show an album by an artist whose character disappoints you, or can you separate them from the art, the artistry, their views? Yeah, there's been artists who are. I've enjoyed the songs, but later on you discovered that they're wrong uns, and that's being nice, I suppose. Or really, you shouldn't, right? Evil, wicked bastards. But the thing that bugs me the most is when you go to a gig and you're there to see the music, and the bands are talking away between songs and sort of telling you how to act and behave and rise up and whatever, and the politics. So I do wish musicians would separate their fucking views and political views and views on life from their music. I'm not interested. I'll vote the way I want to fucking well vote. I've got eyes and ears. I can see and hear what's going on around me. I don't need anybody telling me what to think and what to do. And I'm not interested in your political views. I'm just interested in the music. So yeah, that really narks me. If you had to sell all your records and your record player, and what record would you hold on to as a keepsake? Well, I can't really answer it. I mean, I've already shown a record that belonged to my late mother. I've got records that have been VCLT, which I treasure greatly. I really, really do. I've got records that belong to a mate of mine, but who, for some reason, only known to him, he took his own life back in '85. And again, I miss him dearly. Kindly given to me by his sister. So yeah, I couldn't pick one. I couldn't pick one at all. So I don't know. I'm sitting on the fence with that one. Discuss your VC highlight of the year. Include links, etc. VC highlights. I really loved watching the VC sort of quiz. And Mike Vinyl Spiral. He won't thank me for reminding people, but I saw him mention it in a video earlier on this morning. He couldn't remember the name of the Sex Pistols' first tune. I sat there watching his, and I was shouting at the bloody screen on my phone. I watch all the VC videos and that on my phone. I was shouting the bloody answer. Hear me, man! Hear me! Oh yeah, oh, it was great. Great. And well done to Midge. And well done to everybody who took part. Well done. I had to go answering some of the questions, and I think the most points I ever got was about 8 or so. I did disgrace myself once. I didn't get no points whatsoever. I think I could be up for this year's version, and no doubt I'll be embarrassing myself and get a damn good hammering from someone. So yeah, other than that, I really look forward to going up to the Leeds Record Fair and meeting up with Mike and whoever. I'd pick up Ian along the way. He lives about half an hour or so away from me, and the M1 motorway is only about 10 minutes or so from him, up the M1. And park and ride, get the bus into Leeds and walk around the corner. There's generally Mike sitting on the bench waiting for us, and we take a walk in, we have a chit chat, and we have a sit down and a cup of tea and a bacon roll, which is mandatory. And we sit and swap records or whatever, VCLT, and have a chit chat and bitch about the business, as it were, and before the record hunting takes place. And I really do enjoy a day out at Leeds. It can be a long day, But yeah, I really look forward to it. So there's two highlights, PC highlights. And yeah, I mentioned the bacon roll and tea. I'll include a picture of bacon rolls and tea I had last night when I got in from work with a nice bit of HP sauce. Vegans, you can turn away and look at a carrot or something like that. Name your favourite musical biopic if you have one. I've seen a few. I've seen the Doors one years ago. I think I've seen the Beach Boys one. Didn't one of them drown or something in a swimming pool or something like that, or in a marina? Something I don't know. What else have I seen? I've seen the Queen one. My daughter got the DVD a year or two ago, Christmas, part of her Christmas gifts. I've seen the Ian Jury one, Sex, Drugs and Rock and Roll, which was great, interesting. Yeah, the trouble is with these biopics, you don't know whether, you don't know what sort of fiction and what's fact. Obviously, you've got to have a bit of poetic license, I suppose, to make it more interesting. I've seen the Madness had done a couple of ones. Had done one years ago called Take It or Leave It. But yeah, I think because they're favourites of mine, I'll probably go with Madness and Ian Jury. And I'll put a picture up of the respective biopic video thingamajigs. Anyway, you can go and have a look and watch if you want. 3 reasons why jazz matters. Well, jazz don't matter any more than any other genre you like. If you're a jazz fan, of course it does matter, and I wouldn't knock anybody who loves jazz. Jazz ain't my thing. Miles Davis and who's the other big player? Miles Davis, John Coltrane. It'll sort of go over my head. I'm not a jazz person, but I do own one jazz record. It's a 7-inch single. It's a good sort of toe tapping, humming away type tune. Dave Brubeck, Take 5. Quite like that one. I'll say you can hum away to it, toot away. Tap Your Fingers, that's on the CBS label, and I think this was released in '74. Or was the song from? I don't know. I'm not a jazz person. You tell me. Dave Brubeck, Take 5. Jazz is one thing. Like I say, I'm not a fan. I'm not going to go down the jazz rabbit hole. That'll do me. The only other thing I've got is an offshoot of jazz. I think it's jazz, soul, funk, and that's Ramsey Lewis. His cover of The In Crowd by Doobie Gray and Wade in the Water. Great sort of soul, funk, soul, jazz tunes you can dance to. Very popular with the mods as well. So yeah, jazz matters if you're a jazz fan. If you're not, it don't really matter, does it? You're an innocent man on death row. What is your last musical request? I could have picked out Cars by Gary. You probably go, oh God, no, not Cars. I love it. Or Our Friends Electric, which was the very first record I ever purchased, owned. And I remember getting it on a Saturday morning from W.H. Smith's in the New Borough Centre in Kettering. Queuing up with my mum to get it, and she was doing her best to sort of dissuade me. Oh, you like a record with that nice blondie? That's who all the boys like, not this funny little chap. with makeup on, etc. No, 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 no. Gary Newman. He's the way forward. But what I've gone with, the greatest album so far ever to have been made on planet Earth, Quadrophenia. This is my old battered copy, and this year I'm definitely going to treat myself to a pristine Japanese copy with the Obi strip and all the gubbins that comes with it. And if I have to spend a pretty penny, then I damn well will. So yeah, my final musical request, Quadrophenia, The Who. The greatest album of all time, without a shadow of a doubt. Don't give me that Sergeant Pepper's nonsense. There we go. Sell your favourite artist to a new listener. Show an essential album and explain why they should make time for it. Well, one of my favourite artists. Well, if you like your music different, weird, quirky, my band's thinking from outside the box, I do. I don't think you can go wrong with the B-52s. Like I say, weird, different, quirky, thinking from outside the box. Great sort of dance tunes as well. Absolutely love the B-52s. This is their first album, and I've got them all except for the last two, I think. And the very last one, it costs you an absolute arm and a leg. I'm never likely to find it, never likely to afford it. You're talking a couple of £100 quid. Planet Claire, 52 Girls, Don't Just Mess Around, Rock Lobster. Is there a more weirder tune than that? Different, quirky? You tell me. Second album, equally as good. I found this one at Reading Record Fair a couple of years ago. Great cracking record fair at Reading on the University Complex. This was the last purchase of the day. Give Me Back My Man, Private Idaho, Quiche Lorraine, Strobolite. What a great song that is. The whole album is great. Different, weird, quirky, out of this world. Fantastic. B-52s, and we've already mentioned it. Rock Lobster. Fantastic song. Brilliant. Everybody should make a little room in their hearts for the B-52s. And speaking of live experiences, I'm going to see them at the O2 in London this coming June. Daughter's treating me to tickets, me and her, to go and see the Anti-Nowhere League in Bedford in February. I brought us a pair of tickets to go and see the B-52s. Superb. B-52s, go listen to them. I don't think you'll regret it. You're arranging a VC meetup in 2026. Name 3 people you'd love to meet, but not people you already met before. I pick more than 3. If I don't mention your name, it don't mean to say I don't want to meet you, etc., etc. I think this could be a monumental piss up, and the biggest laugh and giggle of the year. The people I've picked: the leader, the main honcho, the clown prince of the VC, Cosmic Brian, from the from the cosmic realm, the cosmic universe. The bloke cracks me up, he really does. His videos are so funny. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling blue, go and have a look at Cosmic Brian, Cosmic Vinyl. If he doesn't put a smile on your face, then you're a miserable fucker. He cracks me up. He really, he's fantastic. Brian, love you to death, mate. Brilliant. Love to have a beer and a laugh and a giggle with you. Harris Pilton, Britain's very own Harris Pilton. Again, puts a smile on the old fizzer, your face. Ben Rankins, the boy wonder from Down Under. Always like you could sit and have a laugh and a giggle and take the mickey out of each other, and it wouldn't offend you. You know, Vinyl Richie, superb. He makes me crack up sometimes. He really does. Berwickshire Mike, I think he'd enjoy a sherbet or two and a good laugh and a giggle. Probably loads of other people. But like I say, just because I haven't mentioned your name doesn't mean to say I dislike you or whatever it is. Your time will come. We'll all get together. We'll have a libation or two. Alcohol will be taken. And there'll be a giant Mickey taking, piss taking, laugh and a giggle. Superb. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. I don't know how long that's took. Bless yous for watching the videos from last year. I'm only an amateur, humble amateur, and my videos are indeed amateurish. Bless yous for all the kind words, the comments, people who subscribed. I do sort of shorts on Instagram. It's basically stuff I'm listening to, recent purchases, before I show them on YouTube. You all have a good 2026. Love you all to death. Bye for now. Cheerio.